Since the beginning of manned flight, it soon became apparent that there is a need for standard rules and ground-based guidance for air traffic to prevent collisions mid-air. Thus, air traffic control was born. This less visible side of aviation is also one of its most important facets, without which modern flight will not be possible. In this episode, we take a closer look at this invisible force that keeps our skies safe as the world celebrates 100 years of air traffic control. Compared to other modes of transportation, aviation's faster speed and vertical nature of operations poses a higher safety risk for everyone involved. Because of this, a high degree of coordination and communication between air and ground is very important. 100 years ago, in 1922, the first fatal mid-air collision between two commercial airliners over France further encouraged European countries to implement guidelines for aircraft separation. In England, London's Croydon Airport was the first to introduce an aerodrome control tower for basic traffic and weather guidance for pilots over the radio. In the United States, following Charles Lindbergh's first solo flight across the Atlantic, the first U.S. air traffic controller went to work in St. Louis, Missouri. Archie League, a pilot and mechanic, armed with his signal flags, notepad, and umbrella, guided pilots on departures and landings, doing the first coordinated air traffic control. Big leaps in technology would make up air traffic control's long history, and the safest and most efficient practices were adapted across the world. In the Philippines, the first batch of Filipino air controllers completed their training in 1948. A few decades later, the Philippine Air Traffic Controllers Association, or PATCA, was established to promote the continued development of air traffic control and enable its members to maintain a high degree of proficiency. Over the years, more and more batches were trained in this highly specialized field of aviation. And all of them graduated from this institution, the Civil Aviation Training Center, or CATC. This is where it all begins. Every air traffic controller in the Philippines passes through these halls. I got a chance to visit and talk to Philip, who heads the training of new controllers. How long does it take? For example, I start my classes today. How long does it take before I become an air traffic controller?
The timeline for the basic air traffic service course is 6 months.
Okay.
That would include aerodrome control, approach control, area control, and communicators training.
And after you graduate them on that 6-month period, can they hop into the control tower and do this already, or are they still given a training?
After graduating in the basic course, the first that they would do is to get their license for air traffic control. And after that, they would be assigned to different facilities all over the Philippines. When they are assigned to that facility, they will get facility rating. That would be another training.
Okay.
What we are offering here in CATC is only the basic training. So when they go to, for example, NAIA, they will be trained for another 1 year or more in order to acclimatize with the traffic situation of NAIA.
But what does it take to become an air traffic controller?
To qualify, the minimum requirement is to have a 4-year college degree, and you have to pass the admission exam and the interview.
So whether you've taken a course in farming or you've taken a course in engineering, it doesn't matter.
Yes, it doesn't matter.
As long as you can speak properly.
Yes, and you have that, what we call the traffic picture.
Okay, explain traffic picture, please.
It's more of spatial awareness and situational awareness. So you have to know everything. You have to be a master of time and space. We handle millions of
Lives and
lives and property.
Yeah.
That's why our training in our training is very stringent.
Philip also showed me their new training equipment, an aerodrome tower 3D simulator. It is certainly a big jump from the traditional method of using miniature model airplanes pushed around on a printed airport diagram. The new simulator will help ATCs in getting a high level of proficiency in handling aerodrome operations. It comes with 6 airport scenarios for Manila, Mactan, Clark, and other major airports. I think with all the visuals and all the actual pressing of buttons, training will be quicker and maybe they will absorb more. What do you think?
The training would be more real time. I guess that would be 50-50. It is more difficult because everything is moving. And unlike in the conventional system, the instructor has the option to freeze the
time to wait and think.
They have the benefit of seeing the visuals. However, they have a shorter time to react with the traffic situation.
It was great to learn about these new developments and meet the very enthusiastic new trainees who will someday be monitoring and ensuring the safety of our skies. Up next, I continue to take a closer look at the field of air traffic control before heading to Cebu for the biggest gathering of ATCs, not just from the Philippines, but from across the region as they hold the 38th IFATCA Asia Pacific Regional Meeting, which coincides with the celebration of 100 years of air traffic control.